Hello, World Cup fans. We've had 2 days of the group of 32, and we already have our first upset. All right. So there's only been 4 games played, and the first one went kind of according to plan. It was two second seeds, Canada versus South Africa, but pretty much everyone felt Canada was a much better team, uh, and they won. Uh, and then Brazil took on Japan and beat Japan 2-1. Okay, that's about what we expected. And then Germany played Paraguay, and Paraguay tied them, and it went to a shootout. And as so often in a shootout, things are pretty random. All right, in a shootout, the goalie basically guesses which direction they're gonna kick it and moves in that direction. And if they had picked the other direction, then nope, they're not going to block the shot. Not only that, if they did pick the right direction, they still might not have launched themselves with enough force or launched themselves with too much force to actually block the goal. That is why in most shootouts they score about 4 goals. The goalie gets lucky and only scores 3, and that really helps their team. The goalie gets lucky and the other team scores only 3. But that's why shootouts can be so random, and we actually had the less favorite team win both shootouts so far that we've had, because then Morocco went on to tie the Netherlands and win. All right, so that gives you a rundown of the shootouts and the fact that that makes things a lot more random when it happens. Next, how many upsets? I actually only believe one upset. I stated that Morocco is a tough team and could beat the Netherlands, and that's kind of what betting markets had. The Netherlands were ahead in the betting market, but not by a lot. And I don't really consider that an upset, especially when they tied. And then they had to have a shootout to break that tie, and that's random. To me, that's not a an upset. Now, a third seed beating a first seed, that is an upset, and we've already had one. We will probably have another. Okay? Um, the group of 16 usually has one or two upsets. There's no reason why the group of 32 shouldn't at least have two. It probably is only going to be two real upsets where a first seed beats a third seed, or a second seed beats a first seed. But uh, partly because it's just there's more weight to the seeding with a group of 32 versus a group of 16, which the World Cup usually had. So that's the case, I think. Now, how does this change my view of the World Cup? I will let you know. I felt England had the best chance of winning, actually, because they had the easiest path. That's not true anymore. Uh, France doesn't have to knock off Germany. Germany was a tough opponent. Uh, that's actually why I didn't feel like I should favor France like a lot of the chalk was doing. That I'm like, in the group of 16, you're facing Germany? That's a tough pull for the group of 16 to have to face. And there they were, but now they don't. They face Paraguay, which they should be able to beat easily. And then they're probably going to face Morocco. I felt like the Netherlands or Morocco were likely to beat Canada, so that part of my bracket doesn't really change. And I felt France was going to beat Germany, so that part of my bracket doesn't change much. But it still makes the road much easier for France. There, there is a real chance they might not get challenged till semifinals when they face Spain, or maybe they won't. Spain could get upsetted too. But I mean, it's part of the thing that makes this exciting. If we always knew what was going to happen, wouldn't be as much fun. But that's my advice now. If I don't put money on sports events, but if I was, I wouldn't be switching over to France as the more likely person to make it to the end and win, just because they now have a much easier road. So I probably won't see you tomorrow unless there's a big upset. I'm not gonna make a video. I'll make one 2 days from now after the United States is played, and I can give a rundown also about the host teams, Mexico, Canada, and the United States, all in one video. I hope you tune in and watch it.